Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning. Got a great way to start the week off here. We have two outstanding guests coming in, and we're going to have a good show today. But first, let's get started with our weather, brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Drew Pollard and a hard-working crew taking care of our everyday comfort needs. Be a little on the cool side today compared to what we had the last 2 weeks. It's going to be high today, only 69, low of 46. This time last week, it was a lot warmer. A little bit of rain maybe. We had some we need some rain, so I'm glad to talk about it. When I looked at a Monday moon forecast, we had the full moon last Wednesday night, and so last Tuesday and Wednesday night, so we're waning down, so we'll have a new moon coming up at the end of this week. So it's going to be some good weather as far as the moon. If you like to fish with the moon, it's going to be a good time to do it with the dark nights coming up. Take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. We have a good tide this morning. Low tide is at 12:39, and then a high tide at 1:58 p.m. So 12:39 this morning, low right for lunch. Good strong tides all week long. And the spring break is starting for a lot of folks, and a lot of folks are going to be in the outdoors doing some fishing, and I'm going to be one of them. So looking forward to some good weather. Our wind will be coming northwest today at 14. It'll be blowing. I know a lot of people are fishing today, so hopefully it'll get a stormy weather on out of here and then settle down. It's always good after the storm. Okay, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, and welcome to our special guests this morning. These ladies got up early and drove all the way over from Freeport, from the Ottawa Animal Rescue Center, and we're glad to have them. And one's very familiar with me, and I've got to meet the other one and got to know her. We saw each other, so tell us about yourself, tell us your name, and tell us folks about it.
I'm Andrea Diesner. I grew up in the Panhandle, went to Mosley High School with this fine man, and I now work with Aliqua and their wildlife rehabilitation department.
I am Tyler Brown. I'm originally from Arkansas. Came down here about 3 years ago. Ended up in Aliqua, and I work with the wildlife department as well.
And you went to college in what?
Wildlife management I have a background in. So Arkansas State, whoop whoop. And now I'm here.
Okay, cool. How did you go from Arkansas to here?
COVID hit. I mean, like the rest of us, graduated 2020. So it's kind of like, what do I do now? My internship was canceled. Everything was kind of put on hold. I was like, the beach sounds nice. So I wound up in the beach, and here I am now.
How many of y'all have started that way? The beach sounds nice and come down here.
Famous last word.
Yeah. We got to see each other. I had Andrea in class a little while back, and she hadn't changed a bit. It looked like you just graduated, I swear. And we saw each other at FWC meeting back in December. So we started again. Was it December? It was
way back. Around there.
Way back.
Yeah.
And we said, well, I said, you got to come on the show and talk about, what you're doing now. So we've been trying to get our schedule together. It's taken a while. Here it is, March. We finally get together. I'm so glad they come on the show. And we got so much to talk about. And they have set a record on the amount of pictures they have sent. So I'm serious. We have tons of pictures. They're great pictures. So, okay, let's go back to when Aliqua started a couple years ago. Tell us basically how it started.
So the Wildlife Center was developed by the three of us. We have our team. It's a real small team, but we basically built the place from the ground up, and it's a need in the community because wildlife is so important to the ecosystem, and we're just constantly expanding, taking, and so it's a little opportunity to give back a little bit. If the community encounters a wild animal that's been injured or is sick or is just not doing right, then you give us a call and we come out and help you out.
They're amazing. I followed y'all through the through the media and all, but usually when y'all on TV, you only got like 2 minutes to talk. But today you have all morning to talk, so we can go into detail. So let's your primary responsibility, like a normal day, would be what?
Oh,
is it not a normal day?
No, every day is different.
Every day's different.
Every day is different. Mm-hmm. It's not 8 to 5.
It is 8 to 5, but you never know what's going to be squeezed in there. So we answer phone calls from the public. Mm-hmm. We have a phone line. It's like a hotline to call 911 for wildlife, basically. So everybody from Walton County to Bay to Washington gives us a call, and we respond. We have a mobile triage unit ambulance now, so
Oh, cool.
and we're run by volunteers. So depending on what volunteers are there every day, we are like, you know, you want to go get a great blue heron and Sarah, you know,
How cool is
wherever.
that? And you're always looking for volunteers, probably.
Yes.
So, you know, talking about something cool to do, if I had time, I'd like to squeeze that in. But now, we got to get started on these pictures, so we may not finish it. And we, in no random order, so we're going to go ahead and start. This is the first one here. Let me see. Jeff, we're getting set up. The veterinarian, y'all had them on call or something, or when you have your vets?
So we have a medical clinic staff part of Aliqua at our newer property, and so whenever we have like really bad issues or something that needs an operation, we'll call them ahead and be like, hey, do you guys have time today or tomorrow?
Okay.
So we always have Aliqua in general has a vet on staff.
Oh,
luckily.
cool. Very good, very good. Okay, so here we go. Show us this first picture right here. I think he's looking at us.
That was a cool intake. We don't get a lot of long-eared owls, but that was the first of the species that we saw intake. So he had a broken wing, and he was brought to us. And
Was he wise?
he was wise. Yeah, look at him. He's looking in your soul.
All right, all right.
Bald eagles, a lot of those times, it's kind of sad. They suffer from either lead poisoning from predating on fish that has been subject to toxicity, or also rodents that have eaten rodenticide poisoning, and then they have a secondary response to that.
I hadn't thought about that. Yeah.
So
Wow. All right, these two young ladies.
that's Shelby. That's our wildlife director. She's the big boss over all of us in charge, and that's our ambulance that we respond to calls with.
Oh, cool.
And it's fully operational and lights and all.
Who drives it? Who drives it?
I don't want to comment.
Not
on that.
Oh, okay. The animal ambulance, I guess. Okay.
There's Tyler.
Mr. Pelican, we get an influx of those often, probably around this time, especially with winter, because they come up from the Carolinas and they migrate down here. And especially when they're juvenile the first time, you know, they see the harbor, they see all that fishing, they're like, oh, free food, they don't have to fight for. And then a lot of the things we get have fishing hooks, they're wrapped up.
We talked about that on the show about trying to help stop that. And right here.
This is a weird thing that we were observing. We had about 10 pelicans come in with this hole in their third eyelid. They've got two eyelids, one, you know, they close vertically, and then they have this one sheath.
Oh, that's the eyelid then.
Yep,
Okay.
horizontally.
Eyelid, yeah.
And usually it's totally covered because when they dive, they need protection from their eyes. This is actually a parasite, an intestinal parasite that causes this.
That's what happened.
It's flesh eating.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Who would expect that?
Nobody.
Yeah, no.
It took us a little while.
How'd you figure it out?
We did a little fecal
and
and
stuff,
we
yeah.
looked at it under the microscope, and there they were.
Wow, that's talented. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. Got a bunch more stuff. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Sitting here with two special guests from Aliqua Animal Rescue, and I get tickled talking to them because they have this passion for what they're doing, and we talk about it, you know, being outdoors and all. You sort of acquire this passion for what you're doing, so we appreciate it. We got a bunch more pictures, so we want to let's show a few more pictures. But before we get to that, you have an event we're going to talk about twice. The event coming up March 25th.
March 25th from 10 to 5. It's at Aliqua's property off of 20 in Freeport, and we're going to have beer. We'll have a bouncy house for kids. We'll have a lot of information about what we do, and it's a good opportunity to raise some more funds before baby season hits us really hard.
Baby season coming up.
Yes.
We're currently in it, up to 15
Inundated.
little squirrels right now.
Oh, that's cool. All right, let's jump back on these pictures. Here we go. Watch this one right here.
So this is a little barn owl, and this is what owls look like when they're freshly hatched.
Okay.
He doesn't have much feathers. He can't really see very well, can't stand. So he's going to be in the nest at this point being fed by his parents, but he was orphaned, so.
Oh, so y'all saved him.
Yep, we got him. This is a possum. They, you know, they're everywhere. They have some trouble in traffic sometimes, so I think this is what happened to this guy, and he was brought in by a community member. There's our little baby again. You'll see progress pictures. He's growing up. He's still with us, and he's going to be released pretty shortly.
Okay.
So a little gruesome, sorry about that, but this is what happens when y'all don't pick up your fishing material. We need to be responsible, but it gets entrapped in birds that...
Y'all see a lot of this, don't you?
Yeah, so much.
Yeah.
I mean, 75% of our seabird intakes have some sort of entrapment.
And a lot of time, I know sometimes we've seen this, and that's braided line. Sometimes the line breaks and the fish is wounded, so and then that's what happens. But I know it's so important to have we talk about all the time picking it up. What about this one?
So this is the same pelican. This is pretty much what we do. We triage them, give them an exam, and put them on meds until they're well enough to be released back into their habitat. So he stayed with us for about 2 weeks, and that scabbed right up, and he was free to go.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. I guess the time frame for each injury is just
It's
dependent.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
There's me, little
You're on the
screech
left,
owl.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's in there with you?
That's a little eastern screech owl. They have some problems getting hit. A lot of
Hit by
traffic.
cars.
Yeah, traffic is bad for wildlife. They get hit by
yeah.
cars pretty frequently. But he recovered. This is the same guy.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
Okay.
And he was released shortly after, but I got a good opportunity to get some close-ups.
When y'all release something like this, where do y'all go?
It depends on, we gather a lot of information from the finder of the animal, and they record where they were found. So we try to release them within 8 miles of where they came from.
Oh, cool. And I guess you have your cages and you do it, just take them out there and just 1, 2, 3, whatever.
We do some conditioning depending on the case, like you said, what's
Okay.
wrong with them, kind of, you know, their ailments decide where we place them. But after they're deemed successful and releaseable, then
So
we
you
go
sort of
from
have
there.
I mean, you treat the injury, then you sort of have a rehab center to get them sort of warmed up.
Yeah,
pretty
And then
much.
you let them go. It's like a patient being in hospital rehab, then there you go.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's a very good format. Okay, that's cute. All right. What is this? Right here.
That's our little baby barn owl. Those are his fresh feathers coming in. So those are his first round of flight feathers. You can see the down is kind of starting to disappear, and he's becoming an adult owl.
Isn't that amazing how that's like human, I mean not human, maybe an animal, so that's just perfect camouflage
Right,
with an animal.
yeah,
And so
it
they
is.
can hide from predators.
Amazing. That's my number one man, Jim. He's holding him. We call him the owl dad around property because he's so enamored with the birds of prey.
Yeah,
He likes to raise them.
that's cool.
That's again losing some of that fluff. That's probably a couple weeks after that first photo.
So you get to watch the process of it. That's cool.
Yep. Same little guy, getting a little bigger.
Hey, do y'all ever name them? You have long enough to give them names, or you don't do that?
We kind of give them numbers
Okay.
because we don't want to get attached.
Exactly.
You know.
There's Susie, my pet.
Yeah.
Okay, what about here?
So there he's getting a little bigger. You can see he's brown, not so white anymore. And he's got all his flight feathers in, and he's gaining some independence. So he's outside, learning how to hunt and fly.
Does some of them get more enamored with y'all than others, you think? Can you see that?
Yeah, sometimes it's unavoidable. Like, we try our best, obviously, to like limit the amount of time we have with them.
Yeah.
But there are ones that aren't as aggressive that we would like. At the end, they're like still kind of relating us to like food.
Yeah.
We want them to look at us and say, ew,
Yeah.
what is
You
that?
want them to like hiss at you
But-
and fly away.
But if you give them food, they're not going to want to
It's
do that.
a fine line, yeah.
Hey. Okay. Another shot of.
Yeah, there he is again.
Okay.
He's kind of our pride and joy right now.
I'm telling you.
You can see that.
Yeah, I can tell you.
Got
No,
a little crown on right now.
that's number one child. Okay, here we go.
Red-tailed hawk, that's the biggest raptor species we've got in Florida, and they've got that characteristic, in movies and westerns you hear that eagle call. That's
Yeah.
actually a red-tailed hawk
Eagle call.
Oh, cool.
So you can hear them actually around the area if you listen, and they're one of their most robust.
They're really
Beautiful.
special, aren't they? I mean, you watch them. They're just grandiose.
There he is in
Look
all
at
his
that.
glory, that red tail, that's how they get their name.
Obviously, where they, yeah.
They have to be, I think, 3 years old before those feathers start coming in.
That was my question.
The maturity plays a part in what they look like.
And they're one of the examples I really try to get them back, to at least 8 miles where we got them from, because a lot of the times the mate is still around. So
Okay.
sometimes you go to release one and you'll hear the mate
Calling.
Oh,
So when you release, okay, they're actually back together.
That's romantic. You can make like an animal Hallmark movie out of that.
Yeah.
For Christmas, Hallmark Christmas movie, they have to come back together. That's cool. Okay.
I got some turtle butts. We got lots of turtles around here.
So what's going on with these?
I believe these were both hit by cars. Surprisingly, they're pretty resilient. If their
Yeah.
injuries aren't horrible, then they got a little scuff, some antibiotics, and send them right back out. And these guys were released shortly after this was
That's
taken.
amazing at the plethora of animals y'all deal with. Okay, one more, we're going to take a break. What about this one?
There he is. He's perching. He's getting ready to fly, and we have started introducing live prey, so we know he has the ability to hunt, and he will be released pretty shortly.
I was looking at this last night. I thought to myself, how cool is that? I could put a limb up there. Who thought about that?
We, husbandry is kind of a collaboration between all of us.
Okay.
We're like, where would this guy normally dwell, and how can we make him as comfortable as
Yeah.
we can?
That was
So-
cool. That really impressed me last night. Let's take our final break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. See, we're Andrea, one of the former students of college out here at Ottawa. And tell me about outdoor ed. How'd you like it?
Outdoor ed was my favorite class. I never go inside. I live outside, so that's the best classroom, I
That
think.
sort of helped
really.
you get into animals, you think?
It really is. I met Lisa Mabry in your class. She gave a presentation with the owls
remember that?
day,
How about-
and that's really how I got started.
Isn't that amazing how one little presentation can sort of influence a young person? Here you are.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I need to tell her that. Okay, moving on. Fishing game times today. Blue water outrigger is 4:36 to 6:36, and this evening 4:43 to 6:43. We got to hustle to get through all these pictures because I told them.
Never ending.
I said send pictures, and they did. Okay, a bunch of them. All right, we're gonna go pretty fast. Here we go. What do we have here?
That's, we just talked about this guy. He's been with us for about 3 months. We raised him from a little hatchling.
Okay.
Here he is just getting his bearings, learning how to fly and balance and perch.
Balancing on the limb.
Yeah.
Okay. What
This
about
is
here?
actually a one-eyed barred owl that we had released, and this is after he got up in the tree and set him free.
Oh, cool.
Red-tailed hawk, I believe he was another victim of rodenticide poisoning, and he has, we like to celebrate when we see him on the high perch.
Yeah.
We're like, we need to get a picture of
Oh,
that.
cool.
Eastern screech owls, this is a cool morph. They come in like this red color with these big green eyes, and then they also have a gray color. But
How cool is that? Okay.
American robin, you can see those guys migrating in the bunches. They're probably running around your backyard right now. They'll be headed back shortly, but they stay with us for a little bit.
Cool,
It's cool to see
okay.
them.
Little squirrels, my specialty. So right now we got a handful of those guys right now. You'd probably see an influx around this time of year. One's falling out of trees, the wind, the weather. I want to remind people though, if you do see a squirrel running around, just like let it do its thing for a while, because most times the parents will come down and grab it and set it
Yeah.
back up.
Okay.
This is a red-tailed hawk we actually still have. Oh my
That's okay.
goodness.
That's okay. Go ahead. All right, that's her phone. We'll go turn it off. That happened before. Listen, while we're
So
talking
sorry.
about it, while we're setting up, abandoned animals and all, people think they're abandoning little baby deer and all, but their mom's close by.
Yes.
You get a lot of that?
Yes, it's not always beneficial to cause an alarm when you see a baby animal. They're real great moms, and they work all year to produce offspring. They're not going to abandon that offspring once they have it. So when you see something, just maybe report it and give us a call and get some advice before you take any action or touch it.
Very good. We're going to try to get some more pictures. We got some coming up on that. Oh, that's you, okay.
Yep, that's me with the hawk right. We still have that guy. He's doing really,
cool.
really good. Like, this is when he first came in. He couldn't stand, but he's flying around right now.
Wow, you already saved him, didn't you? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Pelicans. You want to
Never
go,
ending.
Tyler?
How do they fly? We just figured
With
that
a
out.
running
Good
start.
question.
Running
A
start.
running star. There you go. Okay.
Michelle and Jim, these are two of our greatest volunteers. Jim actually just got hired as a staff member, and they are what we call the raptor team. They like to deal with the birds of prey.
Okay.
This is the armadillo. patient that we got recently, which is always a cool thing to see. They are so surreal almost.
How do they make these armadillos? I mean, how do they put them
Right, good question. So this is our guy. He's full grown now, and we just got to wait till he can catch his own food to release him.
Oh, cool. I just got to get out there and see y'all. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a great horned owl chick, and he looks like a little crazy tiger.
Start out small and then become one of the biggest owls.
Really? Mm-hmm. Who took all these pictures? Y'all did good.
Oh,
Probably everybody.
we snapped.
Yeah.
I did a little.
There's a crew, huh?
Yep, there we are.
Minus one. Chris isn't in there, but he's another one of our staff members with the little slithering reptile background.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. All right. That's a beautiful picture.
Yeah, there he is.
Wow, look at that.
And there we are.
There's all of us.
Working in the field. Okay. Ambulance driving.
We like to have fun.
I'm glad. Makeup artist or what?
Oh, she's giving meds.
That was Wonky. That was an owl we had for 3-4 months, and he came in and he just had the shakes all the time, and so it ended up being like a parasite and everything, and so that was one of the mornings we were giving him meds.
All right.
Eagle, another sad story of this one, it looked like he got in a battle with either another possible eagle male or maybe an osprey.
Wow. Okay, one or two more. Okay, this is a cool picture.
Oh, Pelican Rescue. People call us and they see animals that aren't acting right, and he was just slow and lethargic, and I was able to pick him right up and take him out of the swamp like that. So that's what we did that day.
I'm so impressed.
Thank you.
We have about a minute left, so let's wrap things up. We've got a bunch more pictures. I try to show, later on this week, I'll show the rest of these pictures.
Oh, perfect.
And I promise you, I'm gonna get out and see y'all.
Yeah, that would be awesome to see.
March 25th. Tell us about it again.
March 25th is our Wild and Free event. We are hosting, it's kind of like a fundraiser and an opportunity to say hello to the community. We haven't really had a grand opening to speak of for the Wildlife Center, so this is a good outreach.
How
And
special.
it's like if you're interested and you're seeing all this, you're like, oh, how can I help? We'll have plenty of applications there as well.
Yes.
So don't feel free to come down and talk to any of us and see what we can do for you.
We always need volunteers, so
Yes.
if this is really interesting for you and you've always wondered how can you get involved.
Y'all gotta come back on. We're gonna later on. We'll run out of time. Y'all do something good today for someone and help out on wildlife. Have a great day and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.